Hi guys, welcome back to the Juke. Today I have a Toyota Z4. Okay, those of you that know this car know why I just said that. It's not a Toyota Z4, it is a Toyota Supra. Now, the Z4 reference comes from the fact that Toyota worked with BMW on this car. Well, actually, they just asked BMW for a Z4, took off the body of a Z4, and Toyota put their own body, and yeah, we have ourselves a new Supra. And is that a good or a bad thing? I mean, if you know Toyota and you know BMW, you'll know that those two brands score differently when it comes to reliability. But it's not the first time you're hearing on my channel that BMW had a hand in developing a vehicle. I have a Range Rover on this channel, and that Range Rover, the L322, started its development under Ford ownership and finished its development under BMW ownership. And we all know that's a brilliant vehicle when everything is working. It's a Land Rover at the end of the day. Something's bound to break. I'm sorry, that's just my experience with Land Rovers. But enough about Land Rovers. Back to the Toyota. Now, I say Toyota for a car that's 90% BMW, but we'll get into that a bit later in the video. So, we are looking at the most Toyota part of this car, which is the exterior. In fact, I can think of three places, maybe four, depending on who you ask, places which actually say Toyota on this car. So that'll be the front and rear badge and the steering wheel where you'd see the Toyota logo. So the other places that have Toyota elements are the reverse light. You see that matrix of lights in between the exhaust pipes? That's the reverse light. And apparently that's one of the few places that say Toyota on this car. Then you have the Supra badge and the GR badge. Other than that, you'll struggle to find a Toyota badge. I mean, the door sills do write Supra, and that's pretty much it. That's where those are the only places that say Toyota. Every other place that's branded with a manufacturer's brand, chances are it's BMW. But enough about BMW. Just kidding. You're gonna hear me say BMW a million times in this video. Now, I don't watch Formula One, but I know what a Formula One car looks like, and I can tell that this car must have gotten some inspiration from a Formula One car in terms of the way the front of this car is designed. And what I know about a Formula One car is it does not have a license plate in front. I think this front would look a lot cleaner without a license plate in front. Now, that sounds like a silly thing to say if you're in South Africa, but I saw an American spec Supra and it did not have a front license plate because it's not mandatory to have a front license plate in some states in the US, and it looked so clean. Only if we could have that in South Africa. I think just the rear license plate is enough. Don't you think, guys? Now, moving to the side of the car, we get a fake vent on the part of the bonnet there. That little black slit there is a fake vent. In fact, everywhere around this car where you think is a real vent, even by the tail lights there on the corner of the car, yeah, that's a fake vent. And Toyota did that deliberately. So the ducting apparently is real, but they've been closed off. So Toyota's like, if you want real vents, you can go and get real vents somewhere from a third party supplier. They don't even sell the real vents. They just block them off and they said if you want real vents, you can go and get real vents from a third party supplier. Why? Toyota, if you're gonna build a car, finish it, and then we'll decide if we want to close off the vents. Just give us real vents. Like, it's not even an option. You can't tick a box and then get real vents. You have to buy the car with fake vents and then go on Amazon or something and look for like real parts to put there to open up the ducts. Now, ducts that do not need opening are the tailpipes. Thank goodness we have real tailpipes on a Supra. I mean, can you imagine fake tailpipes on a Supra? I wouldn't have even bothered making this video. And this Supra sounds superb. I think, hey, Supra sounds superb. I think there's something there. But anyway, The Supra sounds superb, and I think the owner put an aftermarket exhaust because it sounds very fruity. But I don't know much about exhaust pipes. Neither do I know a lot about tires. Actually, I don't know much about tires. But what I do know is the name Michelin Pilot Supersport does ring a bell. Now, these tires are known to be, I think, the best performance tires in the industry. I mean, some of the more serious, I mean, I'm not saying a Supra is not serious, but some of the more serious German and European performance cars come stock standard with this tire, with the Michelin Pilot Supersport tire. Cars such as the Ferrari 458 came stock standard with Pilot Supersport tires. I mean, these are tires that a Ferrari comes standard with. That must say something about the tire. Even if you do not know anything about tires, that says something. And speaking of saying something, this brake disc caliper combination does not say performance brakes to me. I mean, the brake disc could have been ventilated. The brake caliper could have had something written on them. They could have written Toyota. They could have written Supra. They could have had the GR logo there. They could have written Brembo for all I care. But yeah, I just feel like it's missing that small touch. And I kid you not, this morning I saw a Toyota Urban Cruiser GR. Yeah, they even make Urban Cruiser GRs nowadays. I saw an Urban Cruiser GR that had brake calipers that had the GR logo on the brake calipers. I feel like they've missed it a bit with the Supra. The brakes looked a bit too plain for a performance car. And speaking of too plain, what would have been exciting is a real vent just behind the driver's door there, but that's blocked off too. You need to find your own real vent, not from Toyota, to put there. I don't know why they did that. But anyway, moving swiftly along, you have like glossy black mirrors on this model. You can option in carbon fiber mirrors. I don't know what that will do to the weight. I don't think that will do anything. But yeah, you can get a carbon fiber. I'm not sure if it's real carbon fiber or just like a carbon fiber look mirrors, but you can option those in. I'm okay with the glossy black mirrors. I think carbon fiber, if that's the only carbon fiber thing, that will be a bit much. Now we get into the heart of the Supra, which is this BMW B58 engine, which is an engine that's been around for quite some time. And I think I find it fitting that BMW would give Toyota this engine because of its reliability, high performance, and it stood the test of time. This BMW engine is found in a couple of BMWs, such as the M340i, the X3 M50, the 540i, and the G70 740i. So this is an engine that's in some serious vehicles that pushes out some serious performance. I mean, in the BMW, it catapults the car from 0 to 100. Not now I say in the BMW, I mean the 340i. It catapults the car from 0 to 100 in 5.47 seconds. In the Supra, it pushes the Supra from 0 to 100 in 4.1 seconds. Now, it's an inline 3-liter 6-cylinder turbocharged engine pushing out 285 kilowatts of power. That's 382 horsepower, mated to an 8-speed ZF gearbox. And let me just tell you a fun fact about the gearbox. If you get stuck for whatever reason and you can't switch on the car, the gearbox defaults to park, and apparently you cannot push this car while it's in park, and there's no manual release for the car once it pushes itself into park. I just find that weird. Why can't you push your Supra? Why can't you take it out of park if you're stuck? But yeah, that's how this car is built. Now, moving to the inside, where we have a bit more BMW than anything, but you'll see as we move inside. We'll start with the driver's door. So the driver's door has some piano black, some black finishes there, and some red accents to give it some, I don't know, danger, some excitement. And that's only on the driver's side. You'll see the passenger side doesn't have any red on it. But let's finish off the driver's door. you have some mirror switches there, window switches, lock and unlock button, and two speakers. It's a simple door. And the sound system in here is powered by JBL, which is a pretty decent system. It comes with two subwoofers, so I'll show you the subwoofers once we get to the boot. So I think the two subwoofers come standard. I know for sure it comes from Toyota with the Supra. I'm not sure if it's an extra though. I haven't seen a Supra without the two subwoofers, so I'm inclined to think that it's a standard feature. And moving to the passenger side door, as promised, it does not have the red accents, the red leathery accent, and it doesn't have a lock and unlock switch. That's replaced by a blank. So it's all black with a window control switch. If you don't remember what the driver's side looks like, I'll show you in a second. And this is what the driver's side looks like. It has the lock and unlock, and it has the red accents, and the passenger side does not have the red accents, and you cannot lock and unlock your door. Well, you can unlock and unlock all the doors from the passenger side. What you also do not have on the passenger side are memory settings in the seats. So you don't have memory settings in the seats, and I think that's pretty much the difference. And as you can see, the red accenting thing surrounds the driver, and the red you have on the passenger side is the red inserts in the leather seats. It's the same seat as the driver's side, except it doesn't have memory settings. It has the same leather, same Alcantara, same red stitching, just doesn't have as fancy of electronics. Now we will move a bit deeper inside the car, starting with the driver's side. Like I said, guys, the driver's seat does have two memory settings, and you will get Toyota Supra written in the dorsals. And it's just written like this. It doesn't light up at night. I would have liked it more if it lit up at night, but I guess they were not designing a car for me. But yeah, it would have been nice if there were some lights under there. And here you have your memory settings, and as for the seats are a mixture of Alcantara and leather, and the shiny bit there, I don't know if that's chrome or brushed aluminium or just aluminium. Yeah, you get shiny stuff near the headrest. I don't know what to call that. I'm not a materials expert, guys. Now, even though I'm not a materials expert, I know what BMW foot pedals look like, and those look like F30, F20 foot pedals. You know, it's not such a bad thing. The fact that I'm mentioning that 90% of this car comes from BMW is not necessarily a bad thing, because if something should go wrong or you need spares, you know where to find them. If Toyota says we don't make this car anymore, I'm sure BMW would still make a majority of this car's parts. I mean, look at the dash. If you were not watching this video all along and you just tuned in now, you'd say with great confidence that you were looking at a BMW's interior, which it is inside a Toyota. You have wireless charging there, you have a gear stock straight from BMW, you have a BMW infotainment system, but when you do switch it on, you get a BMW Supra. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It's a Toyota Supra. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Inconsistent with the relationship between Toyota and BMW in making this car, Toyota must have asked BMW for their very best, and BMW's iDrive system is very decent. It's a system that's been around for quite some time now, and I guess, yeah, it's a system that I wouldn't say would be a bad thing for Toyota to have inside their car. And here you get a view of the steering wheel, which is, I think it's Toyota with flappy pedals and some BMW buttons. I'll try and decrease on saying BMW, but yeah, looking down you get a BMW stock, BMW rotary dial, and some carbon fiber. I like carbon fiber. Whether it's real or not, it doesn't matter to me as long as it looks real. It looks nice as long as it's a look thing for me. I don't think you're gonna save much weight by making the center console carbon fiber. And here I'm just giving you the driver's view. You know, one thing, well, I like a lot of things about this car, but the other thing that I like is that they don't try and cram 2 seats in the back and leave them totally useless. They're like, you know what, we're going to give this car 2 doors, 2 seats, and give both occupants of this car ample room. We're even going to give them stuff like a vanity mirror with a light in it. You know, even though this is a sports car, I like the fact that, you know, they left stuff like that in the car instead of trying every trick in the book to save weight, like, you know, not giving you a mirror in the sun visor and not giving you a light that switches on when you reveal the sun visor. And here we have a nearly borderless mirror. I think that's what they called. Borderless. Is it borderless? I don't think that's borderless, but it's a thin bezel. They're almost doing borderless. I like borderless mirrors. And here we have the heads-up display. Now in the premium, I think this is the top spec Supra, so this is the premium Supra, and I know that because it has a heads-up display. You only get a heads-up display in the premium, which is like the top of the range 3-liter Supra. That's the premium. They call it the premium. And now as I pop the trunk, in case you're interested in what the boot looks like, in case you want to daily one of these things, that's the boot with the 2 subwoofers inside them. In fact, the owner of this car did daily the Supra. I should have gotten an interview with him just to hear his perspective on what it's like to daily a Supra. So yeah, this is somebody's daily car. You get 2 subwoofers, one behind the passenger seat and one behind the driver's seat, and that comes with the Supra. And another thing that comes with the Supra, which comes with a lot of vehicles, but I think I find them more fitting in a Supra, are tie-down points. So you have some tie-down points, some netting there, in case you want to take some hard corners in your Supra legally, though. I'm not encouraging anything illegal here. And you get your service book, which is neatly put there in its own elastic compartment there, and a 12-volt socket in case, I don't know, you want to put a small fridge in the back of your Supra. And underneath the floor, I just remembered, you do not get a spare wheel with your Supra. I think that's part of the weight saving effort, and to keep the center of gravity low, you don't get a spare wheel with your Toyota Supra. And to close the boot, it is not motorized, so you're gonna have to put your fingers in the slots they've created there for you to close your boot. I think that's also maybe a weight saving exercise. And that is your Toyota Supra, guys. I'm interested to know from our Toyota purists, and maybe even from the BMW fanboys, what do you think about the Toyota Supra being 90% Toyota? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, the logical thing for Toyota to do? My view on it, and I don't give my view very often about the cars that I profile on this channel, but my view is, being a once-off car that Toyota has made using BMW's parts, I'm interested to see, maybe in 5 or 10 years time, what will owning one of these cars mean in terms of like service or repairs. Will BMW be able to repair this car? Will Toyota be able to repair this car? I think it's just going to be a headache for both manufacturers, because BMW doesn't make it. They make the parts, but they don't make this car. And Toyota don't make this car either. They don't make the parts. So it'll be interesting to find out, if you want to like have a service history of this car, which car manufacturer would maintain it. The other one put their brand on it, the other one actually makes the parts. It's going to be an interesting vehicle to see what turns out of this car in the future. Let me know what you think of the Toyota Supra, guys. See you in the next video.